Now coming back home, Nigeria's bid for automatic qualification in the relay events at the 2025 World Athletics Championships suffered a blow as both men's 4x100 meter and 4x400 meter teams failed to meet the qualifying standards at the national trials in Lagos. The men's 4x400 meter team clocked 3.033 seconds, 3 minutes, 3.68 seconds, well outside the 2-minute mark, while the 4x100 meter team posted 40.05 seconds behind the required 37.87 seconds. Currently, none of the Nigerian relay squads, men's, women's, or mixed, rank within the automatic top 16. Absences of top sprinters and lack of foreign competitors further hindered performances. With the qualification window closing on the 24th of August, Nigeria has 3 more events to go. Talking about the championships, they have the CAA Region 2 and the Ghana Championships to secure places in Tokyo 2025. Let's listen to some of the athletes who spoke about their performance and, of course, disappointments.
First of all, I would say, I feel good. I feel motivated to actually compete out here for my country. It's been such a big blessing to be able to represent the green, white, green. But coming out here today is just us trying to do our best and see if we can qualify. And I mean, we did our best, but at the same time, this should have been done earlier, and it's something we've been trying to talk to the Federation about, because we have good guys. We have like 3 guys running 44 seconds, and it's not that hard to run it to 58. It's very easy. So if we have done it earlier, I think it would have been better. But today we just gave our best and ran 3:03. It still feels good, but we can still do better. That's the thing. I'm not going to try to discredit anyone for their job. I feel like they said it's a new system and we have high expectations from them, and I hope they actually meet the expectations we athletes are hoping for, you know. But right now, we're just hoping they could actually do better. That's just what I'm going to say. Still have big goals for the end of the season. Currently, it's official that I'm competing in 2 Diamond Leagues, 1 unofficial. So I still have 2 Diamond Leagues coming up, going to Europe, and still have to compete at Tokyo for the World Championship. So I still have.
As expected, there is no motivation among our boys, especially the 4x1, the 4x4. We stand little chance in the 4x1 to begin with, and our key athletes did not run. Those athletes that ran, they are our under 20 bests, and some few upcoming sprinters. We inherited so many things by the time we get on board. We ought to have gone to the World Relays to hit the standards by running with other teams and place between the first 14. We will have gotten the ticket. But right now, most of those boys fought for their own tickets. They want to get to the World Championship, even if...
I always believe that we have the ability to do anything. We have abilities to get medals. We have the athletes to do it. We just need more support, more competitions, and just opportunity. Once we get the right opportunity, I believe we could do great things. Definitely believe it's something deeper. I can't speak on it because I'm not dumb, but I know that when you're getting taken care of, you'll do whatever. But when you're not getting taken care of, your body gets put under stress. I know a lot of the guys.
All right, the athletes talking about their performance right there and not wanting to point fingers. Now we've got Fumilayo Famiso, who joins us. She is an athletics writer and, of course, a commentator as well. It's been a long time I saw and heard from Fumi. Great to have you with us on the show today. Always a pleasure having you talking to us about athletics. Now, we've heard about what went down over there in Yabatech, and we've heard some of the athletes talking about not wanting to point fingers at maybe the AFN. But again, we have lost out of qualifying for the 4x100 and 4x400 meter relay.
Okay, good afternoon. Yeah, it's so good to see you again. So I'll say that we've not totally lost out, because I think there's the CAA African Championships that they are going to do next week or next weekend, and that's still an avenue for them to try and hit the qualifying mark, because the qualifying date is going to be August 30th. So from now till August 30th, they still have a chance to actually try and, you know, hit the qualifying marks. But notwithstanding, I'll say that doing all this late is actually the problem. we could have done this easily at World Relays if the athletes had gone to the World Relays. And that was what Ezekiel Natsonel spoke about earlier on. Why was the Nigerian team not at the World Relays when we knew that that was the best means of them qualifying? Because all it took for them at the World Relays was just to get to the final. And then we didn't present a team at all. And now countries are looking at different means whereby they can qualify, they can meet the standard. And here we are, we don't even know where we are going to do that or when we are going to do that. And now only hope right now is the CAA African Championships, the CAA Region 2 African Championships. So the boys tried their best at the Nigerian Championships. They ran 3:03, considering that this is
I guess the network gremlins have also crept into that one. I would have to bring in Bemidepo into this one now. Year in, year out, we keep complaining about the same thing, kicking off our preparations early enough for competitions like this one. We need to qualify for the World Championships. And now you can hear the athletes. Of course, for me, like she mentioned, it is not late yet. It's not over yet. We still have a couple more, I think about 3 events to go to seek qualification. But again, why do we always have to go through the last-minute rush?
I think that's the problem. That's the problem we've all been talking about for the past couple of years now. And I feel we shouldn't have gone beyond this level of always asking, what should we do? What should we do? What should we do? You know, it saddens me to see, you know, fantastic athletes like Ezekiel, you know, previous athletes as well, continue to say this day in, day out. What are we doing to move on from these discussions? You know, for me, that's the next thing. You know, we can always talk about, okay, these athletes trying their best, you know, trying to make, hey, wow, the sun still shine at this point in time, but it is pretty late. Why didn't we attend the world, you know, qualify the World Relays earlier on when we had the opportunity to? So I think it still boils back down to what the Federation is doing, the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. What are they doing and what is the plan ahead for the next one? Now let's assume this is God, because if you ask me personally, I feel this is a forgotten conclusion for me. It's a forgotten race. Let's just forget about this. I don't see the team qualifying. You can tell me that I'm very pessimistic and optimistic, but that's just the truth from me, because these athletes they are running with at this point in time, they are better than them. You know, and these are not actually our best legs, as like the coach said earlier on. So it is obvious that these ones are even still punching above their weights. So we can't really blame them. We can't blame these athletes currently. So the question I've been asking is this: what is the Federation doing to avoid such very great? And I think that's what we should go to. You know, let's slip it out life further at this point in time, because I don't see them qualifying at the end of the day.
All right, what would the Federation do? What would the athletes do? We look forward to more updates from this one and hoping that at the next set of events, Nigeria, our athletes, the 4x400, the 4x100 would then qualify. But let's talk about the women now. Thank you very much. Fumi is back with us. Now, Tobi Amusan claimed her 5th national title in the women's 100-meter hurdles at the Nigerian Athletics Championships, clocking 12.57 seconds at the Yabatech Sports Centre in Lagos. She finished ahead of Adaobi, Tabugbo, and Faith Osamuyi. The team will now look to the CAA Region 2 Championships for another shot. Again, for me, Tobi, always impressive on the tracks.
Yes, I think one's always lost of words trying to describe Tobi. Tobi is like, if I'm not going to be too far ahead, she's the greatest Nigerian athlete, if we are to be fair, because every single year she shows up for the Nigerian trials, even when she does not have to, because she has nothing to prove in Nigeria. But she keeps showing up to, you know, try and encourage the younger athletes like Adaobi, and she knows that within the next few years, maybe like 5 years or more, she's going to, you know, she's going to stop running, and she needs the younger athletes to take up from her. So I'm so happy with what Tobi keeps doing every year, showing up for the Nigerian trials. She ran 12:57 seconds, which was short of 5:4. I think that she just used this as, you know, a form of preparation the World Championships in Tokyo. And I'm looking ahead to what she can do. She's looking in good shape. She's looking in great shape to actually medal for us at the World Championships. And it's sad to see that at the World Championships again, she looks like our only potential medalist. And, it's so sad that a country has, as Nigeria with so many talented athletes, we only have one athlete to actually look up to for a medal. So kudos to Tobi. She keeps showing up, she keeps showing out, and she keeps encouraging the younger athletes. She's the greatest Nigerian athlete, like I said. I'm going to give her that. So what more can I say on Tobi? Good job from her.
Good job from Tobi, and I'm sure maybe Akola Auntie Falila to Gukoya will be somewhere watching and saying, "Are you sure? What happened to our own time? Are you taking away what we achieved for Nigeria?" The likes of Blessing Okabari, Falila to Gukoya, and of course, Tobi Fashiva.
So that. Tobi is the world record holder, so that's like the highest level in athletics. So if she's the world record holder, she has that's the highest we can actually see and take. And she's a world champion, So those two things are the most important when it comes to, athletics, apart from the Olympics. Fine, she doesn't have an Olympic medal yet, but when you look at the world record and you look at her being a former world champion, those are the peaks in athletics. And those are the two things that I saw and I consider as the greatest Nigerian athletes.
Right. Let's talk about the venue now, Yabatech Sports Centre. Are we doing? I agree. Yeah, they've done great when it comes to the venue. But again, you look at the pitch. It's supposed to be lush green because it is not so good for camera because we can't keep capturing just the tracks. What do you think? When are we going to ever have the national trials? Maybe at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, or even the National Stadium, if ever the National Stadium will be renovated, as they've said they will renovate the National Stadium. What do you make of that track in Yabatech for me?
Okay, first of all, we should even be thankful that the Nigerian trials even took place because the first venue they were going to use was the Abeokuta Stadium, the newly renovated Abiola Stadium in Abeokuta. And for some reasons, the track did not pass the pass mark for World Athletics, which was what they used for the African Youth Championships. Now, coming to Yabatech was the last resort. I think it's always the last resort for any trials we want to do in the country, which is very bad. Talking about the track, if we are going to know that if Yabatech Sports Complex is going to always be our last resort, then the best thing is for them to renovate the track, do a lot of things. I was watching a video whereby the morning of the first day of the championships was when they were putting the lines, they were painting the lines to make it brighter, which is so sad. It was so sad to see and so bad. So it just shows the lots of incompetencies when it comes to the federation, when it comes to administration in the country. It's a different thing to complain about, athletes preparing the athletes for major championships. But then when you don't even make the amenities, the environment conducive for them to even run fast or do well, how do you want them to do that? How do you want them to perform at international stage? Talking about Teslim, there was a time I heard that Teslim Stadium was being renovated and we thought that, okay, fine, this would actually be a place. But till now, there's nothing that's happened. So Yabatech is always like the last resort when it comes to hosting trials. It used to be Abuja, but when you look at the cost of things, security and everything, I guess you just look at where is more central for us, Lagos. What is the best track we can use in Lagos at this point? And that was Yabatech. Teslim is not usable. National Stadium is out of the way. So it just shows that the government needs to invest more in athletics. I talked about Tobi Amusan earlier on. She's the world record holder. If we can have one world record holder, who says we can't have two more? Who says we can't have three more? But all these things depends on preparations. It depends on training them. It depends on, the facilities being in place. And if those things are not in place, it just shows that we'll just keep going around in circles. I won't be surprised if next year the next trials will still be in Yabatech because that's always the last resort. We don't know what to do. We leave things late, and it affects the athletes at the end. So that was we should, like I said earlier on, we should even be thankful that the trials even held because 2 days before they didn't know where they were going to do the trials, and they had to resort to Yabatech.
Wow, resorting to Yabatech, and You could tell the rust around the sports center. You will not even blame the school for anything. You blame the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. I'll say thank you very much, Funmilayo Famesho, for joining us today. Always a pleasure. And maybe after the show, I'll hit you up and you tell me where you have been. Maybe you share that money with us. Thank you for joining.